Okay, so here's ET so far. This is about 1.5 recipes of paper mache clay. And I'm starting to kind of put more definition on his body, and as you can see, he's kind of got like a little pooch belly and some wrinkles and a chest here. So I'm trying to kind of fill him out a little bit. So far so good. Haven't done the back side yet, and I don't have to do too much on the back because people aren't going to see him. But if I have time, I'll fill him out just to be complete. But we'll see. You can kind of see I'm making a little shoulder here, and I'm not going to have the arms out just to make it easy. I'm just going to have it lying on the side of his body. So far so good. You can kind of see where I'm at. This is my paper mache clay mix. I've done this before in my videos, but if you're curious, it's grounded up saturated toilet paper with white glue and compound, and you just kind of get like a dough kind of consistency. It's real sticky. You can always add more glue, and it makes pretty much a bucket full when I do 3 toilet paper rolls. So I'm on my second one right now, and I'm thinking he's probably gonna take one more because I still have to do the face. And I started to do little definitions up here with his eye bridges and forehead, but he's gonna take a bit more. So I'm gonna keep going on him, and I'll show you him in a little bit. Okay? Alright. So here we are. Draken's helping me working on E.T. He's filling up the back. We decided to go ahead and do that. It's going to take a couple layers so it's not so flat, but he's filling it in nicely. And then I'll show you what I've been working on, and he helped me with this as well. Here is the face. So we've got just the filling in of his eyes and his ridges and his nose, and then I need to take my skewer and get all those wrinkles in there, so that'll make it even more pop out. And then of course the arms are getting there, but then we got to make the hands, so we'll do that. His feet are looking pretty good. I got the wrinkles everywhere else, and so yeah, it's looking pretty good. Draken's being a big help. I find that when you put the clay down, and Draken's doing a great job of this, and kind of like slap it, it makes it really nice and smooth, and then you can blend it with the other piece so it doesn't look like it's all a bunch of pieces kind of, mushed together. It becomes one piece, and you can smooth it quite nicely. It gets very, very palatable and more like clay rather than chunks. So it's one little trick that I've discovered over the years using the paper mache clay. Doing great, hon. And it's going to be really hot today, so we're going to stick him out in the sun and he'll dry in no time. And then we might have to make up another batch and then keep working on.
Mommy, I'm only going to do one half with the back.
Only one half? Well, we'll see how much clay we have left, and we'll keep you guys posted. Alright, so what do you guys think? I think Draken did a great job on the E.T.'s back. We're gonna let this dry, and then we'll fill it and rounded it, and we ran out of clay, so we still have to fill in that part. But that's coming along real nicely. Yeah, real nicely. I see my back is a little uneven, which is kind of no big deal. I can fill in over here and kind of fix that, but I think that was mostly because of the foam piece, but that's okay. Now, what do you guys think of the face? Got the lines kind of drawn in there with a skewer, built up his nose, and then made his mouth. I think it's pretty close. You see it from the side. Kind of pops out. And so we'll see how that dries, and then we can always add to it. It's always easier to work the clay as one soft piece, but if you have to go back in there, you just have to pound it and then even it out so it blends in with the next part. And then of course I'm gonna have to finish the hands like I said before, but I think he's coming along pretty good. So we're gonna stick him out in the sun, let him dry, and then we'll go on to our next phase. We've got to make some more clay. All right, so we'll talk to you guys soon. All right, here's E.T., and he is finished as far as the clay goes. I'm kind of trying to stand in front of the sun so he can see. And so, sorry about the tree shadows, but I got his face all done, and this back part was not exactly even. So I actually took a saw and sliced it this way because it was sticking out too far, and then had to reclay it and let it dry. And so now it looks normal, and the back is all sealed up, and he's not perfect, but he will do. This is a quick job, unfortunately. If you look down here, I just kind of made his long fingers just kind of next to his little leg there, and then the other one's kind of right there, and you know, it's kind of, it's passable. You can see all his features. And so my next step is I use this asphalt sealer. Here, let me show you guys. I got another little project right here for Ronan's working on his D&D stuff, so I'm using the same technique. But this Durabright roof coating is like a sealer. Works really good. It's like a white pasty. It's almost like paint. I'm gonna slap all that around him, and then I'm gonna go ahead and let him dry. And then finally we get to the fun part, which is to paint him up his proper color. So I'm gonna do that, and then I will show you guys the next step. So here's E.T. a couple stages later. The white layer for the asphalt sealer has been dried, and then I put a coat of like this kind of dark brownish color, and he looks like a mess right now, but that's because I put some black on him very sloppily because I needed to get blacks in all these little crevices. It was just faster to do it that way rather than using all my black for the areas that really don't need black. And then, I mean, I don't have that much black, so I wanted to kind of conserve a little bit. So here he is. And so what I'm going to do now is I found a color that I already had, which is really close to his body, and I'm going to dry brush this color on. I hope I have enough because this is the only bottle that I've got. I think it's enough because the brown is fine, but he has some light spots, and I just kind of want to highlight that in there, and if I dry brush it, I think I won't run out. Of course, his eyes will be white and blue later, so I'm just going to go ahead and dry brush that on, and then I'll show you in a little bit the last little detail, which is mostly just his eyes. Okay, so here's a couple like passes, trying to get his eyebrows here in this direction, and then I gotta go in the other direction, and be careful not to put the paintbrush directly into the crevices. So a little tricky, but it's not that bad. And eventually I'll just end up with these thin little black lines as I layer this stuff on. And his face won't be so dark, but hopefully keeping that little detail of his little wrinkles and stuff. I'm always looking at my picture there for reference, just so that I'm kind of staying true to the photograph, like what he actually does look like. I can tell that this is a little on the yellow side. I might have to go over again and kind of lighten it up or change it to be a little bit more pinky like I had it before, but maybe not. We'll see. It's hard to tell, especially in this light. It's kind of late at night because it's been so dark, or excuse me, so hot, so I can't really do a whole lot, and I gotta wait till practically when the sun goes completely down so that I'm not roasting out here. You know, even in California we have a couple of heat waves this time of the year, and they're just uncomfortable. So anyway, hope I'm getting this in the camera, kind of videoing and painting at the same time. Not the easiest thing in the world, but yeah, he's getting to look a little more like that. As you can tell, he's a little more pinky. But like I said, I can go over him again and kind of get more of that pink color on there, like I had before. Probably mix the two might work. I don't know. Kind of experiment as I go on and kind of still get those crevices, and I've got the shadows going on. That's important. You want to get those. You want to get those shadows. And so here's the body. You can see that worked out pretty good. And then just kind of fill in where I think, and I can go over this with a thin little black paint, thin little brush, and get some black paint in there if I need to. But yeah, that'll work. It's coming along. That's a little more true to the shadowing. And it's just kind of playing around with it a little bit and getting it more solid. I haven't even done this side yet. So I'll play around with that and see if I can get it closer and closer to the real deal. RET in the process. I think this color is going to work. It's a little yellow, but I don't think it's bad. And actually I saw him in kind of a darker color, and I think this is going to work. So the dry brushing worked really well, except I lost a little bit of the features, so I just added a bit more black on his face. And of course the white on the eyes, I have to wait for the white to dry. And then I can finish his blue eyes and the black pupils. So here he is. Check him out. Let me know if you like him. I'm going to do a little color on his toes and on his finger. Not bad for a quick job. He's got to be, everything has to be quick this year, unfortunately. First of all, we're running out of time, and second of all, I'm just super busy with family obligations. So it's going to work out just fine. Everything's going to get done, but it's going to be a little rushed this year. So anyway, you'll see the final paint job in just a few minutes. And just like that, ET is done. Painted up his eyes, gave him a little bit of highlights. The blue and the white are paint, and then the black I like to use a Sharpie, as long as it's a nice crisp Sharpie to get, sometimes the pupils I use black paint, but this time I had a pretty good Sharpie, so I did the outline around his eye, and then the pupil, and then of course the line in between the white and the blue. It's just easier that way. And I also took it in and kind of made his wrinkles a little more pronounced. You can see in the picture that he actually has some pretty deep lines on his face, and so I kind of stood out a little bit better with the Sharpie. And then I had this peachy color that I added. It was just a little too much peach, so then I added this other color, this kind of browny, kind of tannish yellowish. It's not as yellow as the last yellow, and added that on top. And so I actually got both colors that are in the picture in there, and I like that a lot better, so I went with that. So not too bad for a fast job. He's like pretty cute. So he is all finished. And now I just have to finish his pine forest and he'll be ready to go in the haunt. Yeah, he's cute. He's really cute. I like the way he came out. Wish I had a little bit more time. I was gonna spin because he's close to the picture, but his face is just a little off. I wish I had taken time to done a bit closer job, but he's definitely passable, so we're just gonna go with that and move on to the next project. Okay, so there's E.T. I'll pull back. You can kind of see him. He's still drying a little bit, so we'll wait, and then I'm gonna work on his trees. So anyway, I hope you guys like him. Happy haunting, and we will see you soon.